going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today we're going to be going ahead and discussing some more Battlefield 2042 topics. Now, just so you know, this gameplay is nothing new, it's nothing fresh. This is old footage. I have a full vault filled with absolute banging clips from Battlefield 2042. Sadly, I refuse to touch this game until they give us a massive game-changing update. Until then, I'm not going to torture myself. But when it comes to Battlefield 2042 topics, I have endless amounts of gameplay. Now, I will be, balancing it out with Battlefield 1 clips and Battlefield 4 clips, but at the end of the day, I do try to match the gameplay to the commentaries as much as possible when I'm able to or capable of doing so. But ladies and gentlemen, today is a massive day because DICE finally got back to us about the map changes coming into Battlefield 2042. For those who don't know, for about a little under a month, there's been a feedback loop open between the community and the developers discussing what needs to be changed when it comes to the map designs. And finally today is the day, yes, the developers are putting out an open letter letting us know what they are deciding to change. Now, I'm going to be going ahead and discussing this letter through Battlefield Bulletin. Basically, they went out and put a bunch of, tweets simplifying what the overall letter is. So if you guys want to go ahead and see the whole blog post written by DICE themselves, then by all means, the link is on their Twitter channel. But like I said, Battlefield Bulletin did a fantastic job at simplifying everything and showing us the most important features of the whole list here. But ladies and gentlemen, to begin, Battlefield Bulletin said, DICE plans to reduce the travel time on foot between base spawn and flags on the Kaleidoscope and Renewal maps as part of Season 1 this summer. They're also looking to change the distribution of vehicles across our selection pools. Now, I gotta say, this is fantastic news because as we know when it comes to Battlefield 2042, the majority of the pain of this game is getting from your base spawn all the way to the middle of the map or even your first flag to capture. It's a torture, it's a pain, nobody wants to do it. If you don't get a vehicle, and if you don't get, a helicopter or any type of transportation, usually people just end up throwing a grenade at the ground or, obviously going to the pause menu and surrendering and stuff like that to kill themselves, and then waiting until they get a flag later on in the map to just get right into the action because nobody wants to deal with running for that long with nothing to do. So this is great news. And also changing the distribution of vehicles. I don't know what they mean here, but what I hope this means is that they're going to add more ATVs, dirt bikes, and other transport vehicles that don't require you to have any assault abilities. The main thing that I have a problem with is that every single time someone picks up a vehicle, including myself, we feel obligated to go ahead and use it. The majority of these vehicles come packing with some absolute heat, some fire. They can destroy infantry like it's nothing. So why would I call in one of these beasts of a vehicle to get from point A to point B when I could just simply go out and pub stomp with it, Initially, a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to run all this way. I'm going to go ahead and, airdrop a vehicle in. But once they step foot in that vehicle, the whole plan changes. They don't want to use that vehicle anymore to get to, point B over there. Like I said, they're going to use it to pub stomp. It's very annoying, very obnoxious. Again, I don't know what they mean by changing the distribution of the vehicles. I don't know if they're going to make it harder to get these vehicles or they're going to make it a different method to call it in, maybe like a currency system or something like that where you earn points like in Battlefield 5 for doing well with your squad and then you get a certain amount of points and you can call in a vehicle. I don't know what this means, but I really hope it means they're adding in more strictly transport vehicles. No weapons, nothing on it, just an ATV, a freaking Humvee. It doesn't matter. Just give us a freaking Humvee without the turret on it. Perfect. That's all I need. Just give me something to maneuver around the map without having to sprint all the time. And they also showcased a couple of images here showing how they changed around the flag locations in Conquest for the maps here to make it more action and less running to locations. I personally love it. I think the Kaleidoscope spawns are great now. You're going to get right into the action. I hope that it gives us a better path to find enemies without having to, like I said, run for ages to absolutely nothing. I think it looks pretty solid. And also the same thing for Newell. I gotta say, not too shabby. It's not the best thing in the world. I don't think it's going to be insane. Again, it's really hard to look at an overview map and say, oh, this is going to be absolutely outstanding, because more than likely, it won't, but it's Battlefield 2042. It's still going to have horrible bugs, horrible glitches, horrible performance. It's still going to be issues here. But still, map flow is very crucial, and I will take anything at this point to make my money feel like, it's worth something, to feel like the $100 I spent on Battlefield 2042 didn't go into the garbage. So it's nice to see them change around the flags because Conquest was severely let down this year, and Conquest to me personally is one of the best Battlefield modes out there. And nobody plays it. It's pretty much dead because the maps killed off the mode. Now, second up, Kaleidoscope and Renewal. For those who don't know, these are the only two maps that are being reworked right now. Everything else is going to be worked on later. But DICE will add more cover to both flags and objectives to new areas. Kaleidoscope, DICE is updating the Gazebo Sector B1 into a military installment by replacing grass with mud and cover the area in barbed wire. Now, once you see these images, you are going to be impressed, in my personal opinion, because I was impressed. These are going to be huge changes here. If you guys don't know what was battlefields and replace a B1. B1 used to be just a little tiny circle area, almost like an art piece. That's basically what these maps seem like. It's like art. It's like real life, no war, no conflict, just basically what I would see if I go to the city right now. That's basically what this map represents. But with changing B1 from, a piece of artwork that's horrible to maneuver around and actually have combat in, they changed it to a legitimate zone that will be fun to fight towards. Again, I have not played this section. Obviously, it's not out in the game yet, but it looks 10 million times better than what we saw before. And obviously, you can see scattered across the map in other places, they added more cover here and there. Again, looks great because a lot of these spots on this map were horrible to fight on. I hated the majority of the sections that they changed here. I hated fighting on. And I have to say, I'm slightly impressed. I hope they add something in the middle of the south section of the map. Right between the two sections that they worked on, right in that little grass area. I hope they change something around there. But we'll find out. And then obviously they show us some more images. Here's one of renewal, more added area and territory, where they went ahead and amped up cover. Usually around the satellite dishes, there's absolutely nothing to fight around. It's no point to be out there, because if you are, you're going to get shot. You're absolutely out in the open. And I'm not sure what's on the right side of the map. I can't tell if that's a new building section or if that's an old building section. I think that's a new one, to be honest with you. And I mean, if it is, the more cover the better. Honestly, I already liked this map in the first place. This was one of the very rare maps that I truly enjoyed, this and Orbital. But I gotta say, with more cover, it's only going to get better in my personal opinion, and we're just going to see and play test it. Although I will say, I hope they add a little bit more cover out in the desert section towards the north side of it by the hill. The sniper's hill, I'm going to call it. It's really annoying over there. If they do decide to keep that in bounds and they don't cut the whole hill out of bounds, if they keep it in bounds, I hope they give us a little bit more territory to fight around. And the final image here of B1 sector on Kaleidoscope, a little bit better of an image compared to the last one, showcasing truly the flow that this is going to add to this overall map. I gotta say, I like how this section looks now, but there's still a lot of work to be done to this map. Like I said, towards the south side of the middle, a little bit further towards the top there where all that grass is, a little bit more cover is needed there. And also at the top north side of the map, it needs to be a little bit more cover up there as well. But other than that, this looks pretty darn good. But enough of the pictures, we move on to some more information that's been released. April update reduced the number of attack vehicles and helicopters in 128 player modes per category from 3 to 2. This is fantastic. Increased the cooldown for attack vehicles and helicopters from 60 to 120 seconds. And MD540 and MC5 moved to attack helicopter vehicle respectively. Now, all of these changes, in my personal opinion, are fantastic, and hopefully this will reduce the vehicle spam across the board. Having 3 helicopters that are always up in the sky, getting them destroyed, and instantly seeing them back in less than another minute, basically, is kind of aggravating, especially if you want to be an infantry player. You guys watch my gameplay all the time. You guys listen to my commentaries all the time, especially during the beta. What was all my gameplay on this channel? Attack chopper gameplay, Nightbird gameplay. That's all I did. You can get them every single second, and they were just stupidly powerful, and it was a never-ending amount that could be on your team. So why would I torture myself with the infantry when I could just be flying in the sky, dominating players? You know what I'm saying? This right here is fantastic, and hopefully it will decrease the amount of toxicity when it comes to vehicle play in Battlefield 2042. Next up is also a very good one. Battlefield Bulletin said, DICE is looking to line up cover in such a way that it follows a clear path between objectives and removing the most underutilized areas, starting with Sector E1 on renewal. And here's an image of that right here. Basically, this whole section of the map, which we all knew as E1, is getting stripped from the game. It's no longer in there, and they're cutting it completely out of bounds. This, to me personally, is phenomenal, and they're doing it on every single map in the game, which is why I was hoping that maybe, just maybe on the desert side of the map, they can cut off the A sectors as well, and cut off the hill, and just, make it smaller. That would be phenomenal. Basically, their main goal here in Conquest is to line up the flags so conflict will meet. Instead of us just, bouncing around on the outskirts and doing our own thing here, doing our own thing there, and, not finding people for 20 minutes, battles will be much easier to find, especially for new individuals. People who are coming into Battlefield fresh, they don't know how to find conflicts as easy as a seasoned vet. So, hopefully what this will do is allow players to be able to, get into the flow easier, and also it will make the maps smaller than they truly have to be, because they literally oversized these maps for no reason, just for the heck of it. So this right here is phenomenal. And also the very last post here that I have for you guys is the first updates to flag, base spawn locations, cover, and line of sight on the Kaleidoscope and renewal maps will arrive during Season 1 summer, with more details as we got closer. Season 2 will bring more updates and changes. Now, this I'm a little 50-50 with, because again, like I said, by then I'm going to be gone. You know, I'm already gone. I'm not playing this game, so none of these things are going to be coming until summertime. We got some time for that, and that's just for a couple of maps. I'm assuming we're going to wait until Season 2, until the rest of the game is finally overhauled and fixed, if they even decide to go that far. So, I gotta say, I like how DICE is handling this overall situation. I respect their opinions, and I respect the way that they're handling the community. I respect that they're talking to us. That's extremely nice, and every single update that they're doing here and they're letting us know about is stuff the community has said. That was one of the #1 things I was really looking for in this blog post here, and I said it in the past too in my videos, when I said, you know, when they finally do address this, I'm going to make sure I look for this one thing. And the one thing I wanted to see is if they are out of the loop, if they're out of touch with their community. You know, if they're going to go ahead and we listed, you know, like I said, you know, we want transport vehicles, less helicopters and crap like that, smaller maps, more cover. If we say all that stuff and they said, okay, you know what? They said they want the maps larger. Let's make them bigger. That is like, you know, that's how we know if they're out of touch. But everything we requested, like I just said, vehicles, transport vehicles, less helicopters, better designed maps, more cover, everything we said, they are making it very, very, very loud and clear that they are going to go ahead and resolve those issues. I like that. I respect that. But for Battlefield 2042, it's done. Hopefully, I'm really hoping they keep this mindset right here and push it on to the next game. That's what we truly need. And also, it makes me very confident for the future as well, because we're going to be hearing a feedback loop for the specialist very shortly. So, since this went so well, I'm hoping that the specialist feedback loop will go just as good. But I guess I can only stay so positive about that. I don't even know why I'm being positive. You know, they let me down in every other aspect. I don't know why I'm giving them props here, but truly, I'm the type of guy to do that. If they deserve credit, they deserve credit, and this is definitely one of those situations. It's no possible way you can bash this. You know, you can say it's not going to work, but at least they're communicating, and that's a step in the right direction. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bums, I hate it, leave just a like. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, you want to chat me, there's 2 ways to do so: Twitter and Discord, both the link down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.